Okay, now the other night, I read something in the Bible. Why are you laughing? Yeah, I read the Bible. John chapter 1, to be precise. It was the story of how Jesus built his team. Now, the part that struck me was about Nathanael. Nathanael was not directly recruited by Jesus. It was Philip who came to him with stories of Jesus and encouraged him to join them in following the rabbi from Nazareth. Now, Nathanael's answer was, Nazareth? Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Now, for some odd reason, this made me think of my dad. Of all the men I know and admire, my father has always been a particular source of inspiration to me. You see, he grew up in the small village of Gomwa Ordina. Now, until his teenage years, when he left home to attend Apam Secondary School, my father knew nothing beyond the borders of his small village. He had never met any professors in his life. In fact, there was nobody in the village with a university degree. There were no role models to fuel his ambition of higher learning and a career in academia. Now, for most young Gomwa Ordinites in the 50s and 60s, career options were pretty limited. I mean, they would either become farmers or farmers' wives. Some might become pupil teachers, and you know, there would certainly be a trader or two, but that was it. Now, it is still not clear to me when or why my father decided that he was going to be different. But once the decision was made, everything he did was different. Forgive me. Everything he did was different. His attitude changed. His priorities changed. His work ethic changed. His sights were set on something far beyond his humble surroundings. And once he was committed to that vision, his surroundings immediately became too small for him. His circumstances could no longer contain him. And so, just as you would expect in physics, when the contents outgrow the container, my father burst free and occupied new territory and continued to grow until he became the man I know and admire today. Now, my dear friends, many of us come from humble origins. We were not surrounded by examples of the people we dream of becoming. Now, this makes it very tough for us to achieve our full potential. It limits our reach. It forces us sometimes to dream small. Let me ask you this. Who owns the company you work for? I'm sure when you think of him or her, you see no comparison between them and yourself. I'm sure you imagine all sorts of perfect conditions in their childhood which led to their current success. Well, you may be surprised. My father had no rich parents. He was the 14th child of an impoverished but rather horny farmer and his wife. He had no privileges or advantages growing up. He had to create every opportunity he got. And he made use of the same tools available to his compatriots to pay his secondary school fees. He would sell sugarcane. Look, this was an option available to his friends as well, the ones who dropped out of school. But my father's sights were set on something bigger, and so he was prepared to do something extra to achieve it. He faced obstacles that would have stopped his colleagues in their tracks. Look, at the age of 19, he made my 16-year-old mother pregnant. Now, for any other man in Gomordina, that would have been the point where they give up on any lofty dreams of attending university. They would settle into married life and have 8 or 9 more kids, but not my dad. Nothing could get between him and his goals. He simply took my mother and my older sister along with him on his quest for success. Today, the sugarcane-selling 14th child of a farmer from Gomordina is one of the world's leading experts in marine biology. Even in his retirement, his knowledge is sought around the world. Today, the name Professor Kobna Yankson is celebrated in parts of this world whose existence my father could only have imagined as a boy. And he achieved this from beginnings that were far more humble than yours or mine. So really, what is our excuse? Look, I don't know where you come from, but if it's anything like Nazareth or Gomordina, then something good can definitely come out of there. Why shouldn't that good thing be you? My name is Kojo Yankson, and I refuse to share the limits of my compatriots because my dreams are bigger than my circumstances. Good morning, Ghana folk.